You submitted your top questions about Instagram marketing. I asked you on my social media channels, you answered, you sent me direct messages, you commented your questions on my post, and I'm here to break them down with actionable insights. The first question that I'm going to answer: what are some effective ways to boost engagement on Instagram? When it comes to increasing engagement on Instagram, you can approach it in two different ways. So you can go on the organic side and you can look into paid promotions. Both play a critical role in building visibility and engagement. And the key is really knowing when to leverage each approach. Driving engagement organically starts by creating high quality content that provides value. So whether your content is educational, motivational, inspirational, it should invite your viewer to interact with your content. Effective posts that really trigger a lot of engagement always contain a clear call to action. So encourage the user to comment on the post, to slide into direct message, to provide their thoughts in the comments, or to send this to someone who could benefit from the post. So you can also ask questions or run polls. So on Instagram stories, you can use interactive story stickers to spark a conversation. You can use Q&A questions. You can ask them, what is your favorite way to unwind after a long day? And then continue the conversation in your direct messages. You can also post carousel posts and encourage them to slide through all your carousel posts on Instagram. So you can say, oh, my favorite tip is on slide number 5, or I include a bonus tip on slide number 5. And the active engagement of swiping through your different carousel cards, I want to call them, signals to the algorithm that this post is important to your viewers because they're engaging with. So they're swiping through, they're spending time on your post. This sends a signal to the algorithm saying it's important. Then the algorithm will push your content even further. So that is something to consider. And of course, you can also post behind the scene content, sharing authentic moments, making your audience feel like they're really connected with you and your brand, and they kind of know what's going on behind the curtains. Remember, consistency matters, but never ever sacrifice quality for quantity. One great post that resonates with your audience is far more effective than posting every single day without a clear strategy. Now, this is for the organic side of things, but now you can also look into paid promotions. Sometimes your content just needs this extra little push to get more eyeballs on your content. So that is where you can look at boosting a post. Boosting a post can be done from the Instagram platform, can also be done from the desktop, and you can choose a small budget, anywhere from $1 per day to hundreds of dollars a day, and it can help you to reach a bigger audience that could be potentially interested in that type of post. On Instagram, you see that little blue button, usually it's on the right side of the post, under your post says Boost Post. Once you click on it, you can select a region, so it could be zip codes, could be countries, states, and then you can choose a few interests, or you can also let the algorithm do its thing and they just decide for you who should see your content. Then you select your budget, the amount of time you want to let this promotion run, and then you hit the boost button. And this will ultimately serve your post to a bigger audience because now you boosted it, and boosting pretty much means putting money behind your post. When you're just starting out, you don't really know where to start, I always recommend start by boosting a post that is already doing well organically. So that's already given you a good amount of likes or comments. And if you take that type of post and boost it, you give it the extra push to reach a new audience. But using paid promotions strategically allows you to amplify your existing post that's already performing well organically. You can reach your target audience more effectively based on demographic or interests. You can increase your post interactions and drive awareness without the heavy spending. So without going in the back end of Facebook, so in the ads manager, and really running complicated campaigns. But ultimately, by combining organic and paid strategies, you can really maximize your engagement potential and increase your brand visibility over time. What are the most important Instagram metrics to track and why? When you want to analyze the performance of your Instagram content, reach is the most important metric to track. Many creators mistakenly focus on comments, likes, shares, so they believe that engagement metrics are the most crucial indicator of success. However, the real value lies in understanding how many unique people saw your content. Reach is also becoming so much more important because the algorithms have changed into an interest-based graph, meaning your content will be shown to people regardless if they're following you or not, but it's more so if they're interested in your content or show a behavior that could suggest that they would like your content. So why does reach matter more than your engagement metrics? Reach tells you how far your content is spreading and whether the audience that is seeing that post is engaging and resonating with it. So engagement metrics like comments, shares, and likes are more of a secondary metric you want to look at. Ultimately, reach and engagement kind of go hand in hand, because if your content isn't reaching enough people, you won't have that much engagement on your post. That's why reach and engagement go hand in hand. You can't optimize your content without the other. So for example, let's say your post is reaching 10,000 people, but only 1% of them is engaging with your content. That low engagement rate could signal that you are missing a call to action. Maybe your content is not inspiring. Maybe your content is not resonating with your audience. Maybe you're using the wrong opening line, you're using the wrong hook. So without a high reach, you wouldn't even have the chance to identify that issue in the first place. And now, if you already looked at those metrics and you think, wait, aren't there two numbers, reach and impression? What is the difference? Every time a marketer is telling me that their campaign has an impressive amount of impressions, I just want to roll my eyes to the back of my head. Impressions are a metric that I personally rarely look at. It's a BS number. It's an arbitrary number because impressions do not count the unique times a person's looking at it, but is how many views you received overall. So this includes repeat users. So I can look away, one impression, I looked away, saw your post again, second impression, I'm still the same person. Looked away again, bam, another impression. It's me, it's the same person, who cares? I want to see how many unique people saw my content and not how many times my freaking neighbors saw my post. That's the reason why reach, or the metric reach, is a much more accurate measurement of how widely your content is being distributed. It will give you a real understanding whether your content is resonating or not. So think about it this way. If a post has 50,000 impressions, but only 10,000 reach, it means that people are viewing your content multiple times, but your audience isn't expanding. So how do you use reach to diagnose content issues? Monetizing your reach will help you to identify problems early. If your content is generating low reach, it could indicate that your content isn't resonating with people on the platform. The format you're using is not favored by the algorithm. So let's say you're posting a lot of single in-feed posts rather than reels. Your creative elements need improvement. So let's say you're not using a closed caption, or you're just using one video without any cuts, so your video itself is not really appealing. And then once you've optimized your reach, then you would look at engagement metrics such as likes, comments, and shares to help you further refine your strategy. Engagement should be seen more as a secondary metric. So once you've optimized your content and you are reaching a wider audience, now you can turn your attention to those engagement metrics. So let's say your reach is super high, but your engagement is very low. That will tell you that you need to further refine your content. So you need to ask yourself, is my post encouraging interactions? Does it include a call to action? You want to make sure that you include a call to action to tell your viewers what to do next. Tell them to save this post for easy access, or send this post to someone who can benefit from it. So those are strong call to actions that you want to include in those videos. And then when I say encourage interactions, do you ask open-ended questions, or do you even make a bold statement that goes against the grain, where people be like, wait, this is the first time I'm hearing this, and then you can encourage the comments. And I'm answering more Instagram questions in the videos in the upcoming weeks. But if you want me to answer any questions for you, you can write them in the comments. You can send them to me via email at nina@thesocialwisdom.com. You can send them via direct message. You can find me anywhere at The Social Wisdom. I'm so glad you tuned in today. I cannot wait to see you next week. Until then, goodbye. How we say in Germany, auf Wiedersehen.